volunteers in Nepal hold a candlelight vigil to commemorate the big earthquake as well as honor 50 years of Tzu Chi. We get to know how the慈诚懿德Association helped provide guidance to students on their path of education. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Nepal, where local volunteers recently held an event to mark the one-year anniversary of the 2015 earthquake, as well as the 50th anniversary of Tzu Chi.
In Nepal, at an event to mark the one-year anniversary of the 2015 earthquake, as well as the 50th anniversary of Tzu Chi, participants commemorate those who perished in the earthquake by offering white candles. The principal of Seaburg International College, the venue of the event, later discussed the important role Tzu Chi played in Nepal.
Tzu Chiको humanitarian service अरूभन्दा एकदमै फ्री छ.
Tzu Chi's humanitarian aid is very good. While many people simply give money, Tzu Chi volunteers also care for everyone. Therefore, I'm deeply touched. Education and medicine are important missions of Tzu Chi. If one or two of the missions are not carried out, the humanitarian aid would not have been possible.
Next, some residents put on a play detailing the accomplishments of Tzu Chi's medical relief teams and refreshing the memory of the residents.
Since 1 year, I'm continuing with.
I've been volunteering since last year, but it's not enough. I've missed much of Tzu Chi's work, and I no longer want to miss the chance to participate. In Nepal, everyone knows Tzu Chi now.
Having met Tzu Chi in the aftermath of the quake, the local volunteers are determined to carry out Tzu Chi's charity mission, helping their fellow countrymen.
Staying in Nepal on related news, in the aftermath of the April earthquake last year, Tzu Chi volunteers have trained local volunteers to visit and help less fortunate families. Among these care recipients is grandmother Cheni, who lives by herself and is over 80 years old. Recently, the volunteers helped clean up her home, bringing a bit of Tzu Chi's love to the senior.
In Nepal, Cheni, who is over 80 years old, carefully climbed down the stairs with the support of volunteers. A year ago, volunteers had to rely on a translator to express their care for her as she was emotionally recovering from the earthquake.
I usually visit once a month because she is living alone and she has no son and daughter to take care of her.
The volunteers have brought for her a jingsa folding bed, dry food, and cooking oil. They hope this can comfort Cheni, who lives alone. Living in a 3-story brick house, Cheni has become physically stronger in less than a year, as she can now walk down the stairs by herself.
She looked feeble in the past, but she's different now. We also bring her food when we visit her.
I can now sleep well at night. In the past, my body ached and I thought about the earthquake. I am very happy that you have come to visit me.
Putting on gloves and facial masks, the volunteers work together to help Cheni clean up her home. After placing the jingsa folding bed, the volunteers take the rug outside for a thorough cleaning. And during the dust, the volunteers are determined to help Cheni live more comfortably.
Master Cheng said that humanitarian aid is a priority. Regardless of our professions, I'm happy to help her improve her health and clean her place.
You have come to care for a senior living alone. This is really admirable. She has become stronger. Eating is not a problem as she can go anywhere now.
To prevent leaks when it rains, the volunteers set a tarp on the roof with bricks and tiles. Then they followed Nepalese tradition to plaster the floor with cow dung and red mud. Lastly, they hang peace charms on the ceiling, bringing warmth and familial love to Cheni's place.
Moving to Japan on quake-related news, at the Tokyo International School, Tzu Chi volunteers participated in a charity event selling vegetarian food. At the end of the day, all the earnings were sent to help with relief efforts in Kumamoto, Japan.
The stand hasn't even finished setting up, but some students are already donating money, knowing it will help people in Kumamoto. Volunteers here in Tokyo, Japan, quickly get things going and are preparing dumplings, fried noodles, bubble tea, and other vegetarian food.
This was great success, and you sold out, which means people really like vegetarian food. Actually, I heard many people say that it was extremely tasty. They like the yaki gyoza, and I think there was the noodles, the fried noodles. They said it was excellent.
The Tokyo International School is holding this charity fair. Tzu Chi volunteers are there, encouraging everyone to eat vegetarian food as a way to show love.
We believe that everything should be conserved, so I think it's really great that we are selling vegetarian and compared to the other stands.
As for eating vegetarian food, I think that things which have grown naturally are gifts that the earth has given us.
This is the second time Tzu Chi has participated in this event. They hope that some people eating vegetarian delicacies here today might be encouraged to make it a habit.
25 fifth grade students and 8 teachers from the Tzu Chi school in Tengkaran, Indonesia, traveled to northern Jakarta to visit a Catholic orphanage. The 2 different groups of children played and shared a meal together. Students said they were happy to have this interaction and help other children in need.
Dressed in white, students from the Tzu Chi school in Tengkaran are visiting a Catholic orphanage to play with its children who are dressed in red. All these kids interact easily while older children look after the younger ones. A big circle is formed with children dancing with joy, and smiles are on everyone's face.
I am very grateful because we are not like them and haven't suffered the same challenge of having no parents.
We have to serve others in need. This can bring them happiness and joy.
These 5th graders are sharing their love with the residents of this orphanage, who express their heartfelt thanks.
I think the Tzu Chi school students are very lively and full of spirits. Everyone looks so happy, and this makes other children happy as well.
This interaction between different children helped build goodwill and friendship, adding meaning and value to all human life.
Tzu Chi's慈诚懿德Association was established in 1989 to support students enrolled in the Tzu Chi College of Nursing. Its members are certified Tzu Chi commissioners who will visit the school once a month to talk to the students and offer them guidance. Later, the program expanded to cover students enrolled in Tzu Chi schools from 7th grade all the way to college. We now tell you more about this unique counseling program.
E-tickets are also not valid on this train. Passengers without tickets must pay the...
Once a month, this group of people will take the same train to the same destination for the same purpose.
We want to cultivate our bond with the students, so we'll spend our own money and time to make the trip. If we have to work that day, we'll take the day off.
A Yide mother of senior high school affiliated with Tzu Chi University, Guo has been making such trips for 16 years. A Yide mother's male counterpart is called慈诚father. Their role is to support students enrolled in Tzu Chi schools like parents.
The role that we play is still somewhat different from that of a parent or teacher. There's no vested interest in our relationship, so it's easier for them to talk freely with us.
Like a parent documenting the growth of these children, every step is precious. Guo has been taking on this role since the school was founded. Due to the work of faith, the friendship Guo shares with the mother has been passed down to the daughter.
At first, when I came here to study, I wasn't sure if I have made the right decision, as I was missing my family all the time. Whenever I call home, I'd cry. It was good that I have the Yide mothers to talk to. I'm really thankful for having them.
In a health checkup 8 years ago, Guo discovered a tumor in her spleen and fell seriously ill. Still, she was worried about her students.
To come back here again, I'm truly touched by these children. When I was ill, they took my photo to the prayer hall and recited a sutra for my sake.
They keep us company just like our own parents, except that maybe they are a bit older and maybe even past as our grandparents.
The Yide mother and Tzu Chi father counseling system caters to students from junior high all the way to college. For every 10 to 12 students, they are looked after by 3 volunteers. Once a month, the volunteers take a train to Hualien to keep the students company. The unique system is the first of its kind in Taiwan.
Sometimes we get worn out by the activities or other things, but with something from the kids, perhaps a small car, all the stress just melts away, and in its place is joy instead.
These first graduates of Tzu Chi College of Nursing have been calling these Yide mothers mom for 25 years. Though they have gotten married and become a mother themselves, their Yide mothers still weigh the same inside their heart.
We get along better with her than with our own mother. For example, before we brought our boyfriends home, we first introduced them to her. We came to keep these kids company because they left home to come study here. Back then, there wasn't much to do here, as it's the backcountry, so we took on the role of their mother away from home. At the time, I talked to them as if they were my sisters and friends, while still remembering I played the role of a mother. But when we talk, we were just like friends or sisters.
Both Lin Zihui and Huang Cihua were the founding members of the Yide Association. The students under their care then are now serving in various hospitals. Still, they hold regular get-togethers, and the relationship that they shared has since transcended.
Mang Zhihui is who I talk to most of the time. I always vent my frustration at work on her. In turn, she gives me a lot of encouragement, which helps me overcome my challenges in life.
For such a relationship to last so long is no easy task, but this group of volunteer moms and dads are ever more determined to be the support of these children.
The Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology was founded 27 years ago. To express gratitude to Tzu and Yide parents, an award ceremony was held to honor 54 Yide mothers and Tzu fathers who have been supporting the university's students over the years. Students also prepared a wonderful musical performance, including drums and sign language, all as a way to thank the parents for their support.
Students at the Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology are honoring the Tzu Cheng and Yide Association. They have especially prepared a drum performance to express gratitude to the parents who have done so much to honor Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary.
All of the Yide mothers and Tzu fathers who have come here to interact with the students really care and hope to understand the students' lives. Whenever they discover a student has a problem, in or out of class, they report it to the school for further assistance.
The Tzu Chi and Yide Association at Tzu Chi's University of Science and Technology has always been there to show care for the students. At this award ceremony, association members are honored for their contribution according to their years as a member. One award recipient, Pan Liaoye, has been an association member for 25 years. She recalls when she once gave guidance to a troubled student.
One student wrote me a letter to tell me that he had grown up in an orphanage. He told me that when he called me mom, it was a very emotional moment for him. He hadn't called anyone mom since he was very young. I know that we really do have a great impact on these kids.
Teaching through example, sharing advice, and interacting with the students, these 54 Tzu Chi fathers and Yide mothers have found their way into the young people's hearts, and they have become a source of inspiration.
Next, we meet Ye Yuanjie, who has been serving as the director of New Taipei City's Wanli District Public Health Office for more than 20 years. After graduating from medical school, he has been committed to the area despite its lack of medical resources. He drew upon community resources to create the first rehabilitation center attached to a public health office in the country and a second-hand medical equipment exchange center so residents can receive proper treatment.
野柳呢，我们称它为野柳夹哈。为什么称它为夹呢？
Wanli is an area near the sea with the number of tourist visits peaking at 350,000 in April 2014. However, some 20,000 of its residents are rapidly aging, which is exacerbated by inadequate medical resources.
I go for dialysis 3 times a week. There's no kidney dialysis center in Wanli, so we go to Cheng Memorial Hospital for this.
因为有西药剂吼，抵抗力比较较歹。
Comparatively, Banqiao, Zhonghe, Yonghe, and Xindian have more medical resources, as the number of doctors in remote Wanli does not exceed 10. This means that doctors specializing in family practice are quite important.
医师的角色就是要
A family physician is a sort of gatekeeper. We are the doctors which patients see when they first encounter a problem. They frequently first seek out family physicians.
要找的就是家庭医学。
A look at this public health office shows that most people here are elderly. Wanli's residents over the age of 65 account for 15% of the population. Some even live further away and have trouble walking, leading Ye to initiate mobile clinic services.
We don't have a clinic in Yeliu, as patients have to travel to Jinsan or Wanli, which can take a long time. We can reach them quicker on a motorcycle, but it's really hard for elderly people to travel.
Traveling from one location to the next, his medical vehicle stops at 3 locations in one afternoon. It provides more than simple medical service to the residents.
社区这些老人的
We like to interact with elderly people in the community and provide information about health care and adjusting some of their habits.
平常的一些生活习惯。
这大腿的肉咧出力，啊，动一个要记2、3、4。
Adjusting people's habits may include anything from encouraging simple exercise to physical rehabilitation. Each Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday afternoon, a rehabilitation specialist travels to Wanli to provide these services to elders.
Otherwise, we'd have to travel to a big hospital in Jilong or Jingshan, which is too far away.
Since we live here, so that's why I come here.
这些
We collected used medical equipment and then freely provided to the residents in need.
需要的这些社区民众使用。
This public health center has even planned a nutrition course to educate people about healthy cooking. Sympathetic to the lack of medical resources available to local residents, this public health center unites the local community to provide vital health care and social welfare functions to improve the lives of everyone in Wanli.
Mrs. Xie from Zhanghua raised 2 daughters born with spinal muscular atrophy. For more than 40 years, she has been taking care of them. Last year, her husband suffered a stroke as she has to shoulder yet another burden. Despite these challenges, she never complains but continues to love her family. Tzu Chi volunteers care deeply for this family and provided support for this amazing woman.
It's a rare opportunity for this mother to take her two daughters out on an excursion as they arrive at Zhanghua's Jingse Hall on the eve of Mother's Day. These two daughters have been cared for by their mother for over 40 years.
My mother has been taking care of us from the beginning and has never given up. She continues to care for us, so we really believe our mother is great.
These two daughters were born with a genetic disease, spinal muscular atrophy, which requires them to be looked after by their mother. Her tireless work for 45 years has left her hunchbacked.
Whether it is going to the restroom or taking a bath, their mother has to carry them. She has been caring for her two daughters for 45 years.
This mother's love is simply her nature. She never complains of her lot in life and only wishes her children well.
I would like to bless the two of them and hope their health quickly improves.
Her husband suffered a stroke last year. Tzu Chi volunteers have been impressed by this invincible mother who is looking after the whole family.
She has never really had a good sleep, but when we go see her, she is always upbeat and happy. The family is very close because of her.
A daughter's hug is really the best Mother's Day gift. Tzu Chi volunteers have been fortunate to accompany this brave family and give them encouragement and support.
Despite suffering from congenital spina bifida, which requires her to use a wheelchair, social worker Cheng is committed to helping others. As a child, she was often ridiculed by classmates, but also received a lot of encouragement as well. Later, she became dedicated to doing social work. Now she shares her own story to encourage the elderly not to give up, but to live with hope and happiness.
These elderly people respond to commands in this game, held at a local elder daycare center. Their lives are made a little happier by playing these simple games.
She's very interesting and very cute. Everyone here really likes her.
And the elders here have fallen in love with Cheng, who was determined to become a social worker at an early age.
From my childhood, I was exposed to many social workers, and I also received help from many people, whether they be friends or relatives. When I was bullied, many people would help me, so I just wanted to help others.
Because of congenital spinal bifida, Cheng walks with a limp, though she's still able to push this dining cart. She was picked on in childhood. With the help of others, she was able to overcome such challenges, and she now hopes to share this strength with elders.
I want to take my own experience and influence others not to give up. I want to show them I can actually do a lot of things.
Cheng hopes to use her own life as inspiration to convince others not to give up. She believes that being a social worker can give others confidence and courage.
At the end of the program, we joined DaAi kindergartners in Tainan as they roll up their sleeves and make cookies for local recycling volunteers to thank them for the selfless act of keeping the planet clean. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.